Right. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us. Keith Norton, who's our chair, can't be with us this morning, but we wanted to proceed because we got some good information to share with you today. So we're going to have a couple of items to go through. So we need to do a quick consideration of the minutes from our February meeting. Dr. Menounos and Sadi Sanchez are going to present us with some information on CTECS work in AP and early college experience and AP prep. So we're going to hear about that. And then we want to return to a quick review of our committee description and objectives so that we can endorse those and move them forward to the full board for their meeting next week. And then if we have a second, we'd also like to talk about the opportunity to invite some ex officio members to this committee. So that is our goal for our 1 hour meeting today. So does that sound good to everybody? Can we proceed? Okay, great. You should have had a very quick set of minutes to look through. If I can get someone to make a motion to approve the February 19th committee meeting minutes, that would be great.
So moved.
Thanks, Jeff. And Lance is a second. I got that wave. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Great. Any opposed? Abstentions? Okay, great. So that's our technical piece of business for the moment. And now we'd like to move on. We asked Dr. Menounos if we could get kind of an update on where we stand with these activities. One of the things which we will talk about in the charter of this committee is, a desire to look at how we're making post-secondary opportunities available to our students. And this is certainly one of those. And so why don't I turn it over to Dr. Menounos to
Sure.
kick us off? That would be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pritchard. As you said, this is one of our post-secondary type of partnerships, the ECE and the AP that we're going to go over today. Hopefully next month, what we really would like to roll out is our major articulation agreements with CT State. So because it's really huge for our students. And while Mr. Sanchez will bring you through this process, you'll see that the partnership and the credits that our students are receiving because of our AP and ECE and our pre-AP courses. So Mr. Sanchez, I'm going to roll it over to you.
And so Sadi, please introduce yourself as you get started too, in case folks don't know you.
Absolutely. So good morning to all. My name is Sadi Sanchez. I supervise mathematics for CTECS, and I also been given the additional task of overseeing the AP, ECE, and pre-AP programs that we offer at CTECS. Let's see. Are you watching my presentation?
Okay. Yes, we are.
All right. So let's see. Just bear with me. Can you see the screen?
Yes,
okay, great. So obviously, bringing rigor to our students in every way or form is an important mission of our district. We want to make sure that we're meeting all of our students where they are, and we do have a population of students at CTEC that benefit from this rigorous courses. And the good thing about this is that they align perfectly with our vision of a graduate. And as I go through these bullet points, you're going to see clear connections with some of the elements which we include in the vision of the graduate. Obviously, one of the key benefits of AP, EC, and pre-AP is that we're bringing college level classes to students in our schools, so that is a tremendous opportunity because students are getting a preview, regardless of how they do on the class. They're getting a preview of the rigor that is associated not only with post-secondary education, but even with some of the trades and post-secondary technical colleges as well. Obviously, AP also builds skills that are critical, that sort of defend and support critical thinking, time management, and problem-solving skills, which are directly embedded into the vision of the graduate. Under Work Ready, time management is a component. So again, these type of courses are helping our students in our district meet that vision that we want. We obviously preparing our students for college and future careers. I mentioned that before. We also have the students have the opportunity to earn college credits before graduating, and we have seen some success in recent years with that. We're obviously combining academic learning with hands-on technical training. One of the courses that we offer is AP Art to Design or to 2D, and that is heavily used in shops that are related to graphic design and what have you. So that's an example of how we're taking an academic course and using it to support a technical trade in our system. And obviously, every student that take an AP, ECE, or pre-AP, they have that competitive edge when applying for college. Again, whether it's an academic college or a technical college. And again, as they join the workforce. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. All right. So right now, at this year, we have 16 schools that are offering some sort of AP, ECE, or pre-AP courses. We only have one school that is not doing it, Howard CTECS, and that's because they had some recent changes in the staffing. But we're looking towards including Cheney in the mix in the near future. So just one school out of 17. So that's a good offering, in my opinion. On the right-hand side of the screen, you see all the different AP, ECE, and then pre-AP courses that we offer in our district. There's 26 of them altogether. Just quickly, the pre-AP is only offered at 2 schools at the moment, Kaner Tech, and actually 3 schools, my apologies, Kaner Tech, Platt Tech, and Whitney. Okay. And and we have a really good mix of courses that we're offering. Just give you an example of some historical data here. Back in research the last 6 years in terms of AP participation. And in 2020, we had 110 students that were taking AP courses. This day, currently, we have 330. So that's a 200% growth from 2020 to 2025. So little by little, we're seeing an increase in students opting to choose some sort of AP, again, ECE, or in this case, AP course. Okay, and I think that's good to highlight because that's a significant. We have basically double, or triple in this case, the number of students that are doing AP. In terms of school and participation, the slide that you're seeing here is a breakdown of AP participation per school, and this is of this year. This changes from year to year based on the demand and courses that are available. But as you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but we have this year 531 students that are taking. My apologies, not 500. Yeah, 327 students that are participating. I just switched. Yes. Yeah, in AP is 327. Okay. And by the way, that number is off by is always off 2 or 3 because there's a difference between number of students that are taking it and number of students that test. The number that you see there are number of students that have signed on to take the test. Currently, we have 331, but of that 331, 327 will be taking the examination next month in the month of May. Okay, so that's for AP. For ECE, we have 531 students through all these different schools with the different ECE courses. Most of these courses are through UConn. However, we are shifting some of the UConn ECE to Southern, specifically the health tech. They're now signing on to more ECE courses, and in talking to the supervisor of health tech, I guess the structure that Southern has is a little bit more beneficial to our students that say UConn. But right now, there's basically 3 schools that we're dealing with: UConn, Southern Connecticut State University, and now we're starting to explore opportunities with Sacred Heart University as well. Okay, and this is separate from any other understanding or that we may have with community colleges. This is strictly universities. Okay, and for next year, we're going to see we have schools that are going to be that are requesting or exploring additional ECE or AP courses. Grasso Tech. He brings more opportunities at Grasso, so he's pursuing 5 different courses: AP History, 2D Art Design, AP Pre-Calculus, which came online last year, ECE Writing, and ECSU Spanish. Now that one is interesting because they're trying to work out an agreement with the with Eastern Connecticut State University specifically for Spanish, using a combination of their curriculum, our curriculum. That's on the works, but that indicates, that Mr. Mello is aggressively pursuing adding more AP/EC courses into the Grasso Tech lineup of courses. Abotech is looking for an ECE Intro to Academic Writing, and that's probably going to be through either Western Connecticut State University or Southern Connecticut. We're not sure yet. Vinyl Tech wants to add ECE Popular Music and Diversity. That's a new one for us. Platt Tech is also pursuing an ECE Art, and again, this is through Southern as well. And then O'Brien Tech wants to do ECE Physics, and they also have a new course that they want to implement, which is ECE College Algebra. And again, that's also through Southern Connecticut State University. The ECE College Algebra is one that I'm particularly interested, because that is the course that all majors needs to have. Regardless of where you go in terms of major, you're going to need one course, and that is the course, College Algebra. Even if you're not a science or STEM major, if you're studying history, art, whatever, you're going to need that 1 credit of math, and 9 out of 10 times is College Algebra. So if we can have students in our buildings get that college while with us, they would not have to take that course and meet all the math requirements, again, depending on the major that they're pursuing. And that's basically it. That's a summary of where we are in terms of ECE, AP/EC, and pre-AP courses at CTEC. Okay.
Thanks, Sadi. If you want to,
Are there any questions?
yeah, I was gonna say, if you want to drop the slides, I think we could take questions. I just want to, I had one, which is, again, if I'm relaying these numbers to legislators, et cetera, on the AP participation, is it fair to assume that the 330 students are a portion of our our 12th graders? As I do if I do the math of how many 12th graders we have versus those who are in AP, would that be the right numerator denominator for that one?
So most of these students are juniors.
Okay,
seniors.
juniors.
They're
Seniors.
mostly senior. I would
Okay.
say about 95% of them. We had a student at Abbott Tech who, as a sophomore, took AP courses, and it came to a point we cannot, especially in mathematics, we can no longer offer him any help. So he's now taking full courses at Western Connecticut State University. This kid took AP Calculus AB, passed it with fives, so he's definitely an outlier. But to answer your question, most of these, and about 95% of them are seniors. Yes.
Okay. But the ECE participation could be probably a broader set of students, could be juniors, could be seniors. Or are they likely to also be mostly seniors?
The problem is that a lot of these courses have prerequisites that have to be met, and most of those prerequisites are not met until the students get to their senior year.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
That's great. Yeah, just again, if somebody asks, what's 520, what does 531 represent? What's the larger number of students, and if that's a subset of, it'd just be helpful to know what my
Okay.
denominator is. So
Yeah.
I think that's good.
And just to clarify also, on average, we have about anywhere from 900 to 1,000 students, which constitute about maybe 1 or 2% of our student population. So it's a small percentage, but as you saw earlier, a growing percentage. So, yep.
That's exciting. Great. Any other questions for Nikki or Sadi? Okay. Thank you both very much. This is really helpful background information, and yes, Dr. Benunos, it'll be exciting to hear it at a future meeting about the articulation agreements you're working on with CT State, which is, a nice, again, system to system activity. But, I will say, I know from previous work and relationships with the private and CSU institutions that many of them would be happy to talk to us about ECE, I'm sure, and kind of the coursework that they have available in their catalogs. So then you point that, we need some additional partners. I know they're out there when we want to get to them. Great.
Thank you, Dr. Pritchard.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Why don't you drop your screen and we can move on to the discussion of our great, Ronki, why don't I hand this one over to you?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. So in our discussions about our objectives and descriptions for Career Pathways Committee, there was a lot of talk about making sure that we're including secondary and post-secondary opportunities and partnerships when we talk about career exploration, as well as focusing on trade partnerships. So I've updated this document to reflect that, to show and expand and promote apprenticeship and trade-focused programs for both secondary and post-secondary students, strengthen trade licensing and flexibility training by partnering with the Department of Labor and licensed construction trades to support night and weekend programs for skill development and advancement, continue to build relationships with Connecticut colleges and universities, and identify opportunities for dual enrollment programs, articulation agreements, and seamless transitions to higher education. I won't read each of the dots, but those were the 3 changes that we made after discussions from both committees, as well as the full board meetings, on making sure that we're capturing expectations as we move forward for career exploration for our adult learners and K through 12 learners. Well, not K through 12, 9 through 12.
Yeah, let's not do Ks. We got enough on our hands.
I was gonna say we
already.
have enough on our plate.
Exactly.
So 9 through 12.
So just for the committee members, the goal here was to have us, review this one more time and then have a motion to endorse the charter for this committee, so that it could go to the full board for its vote and approval next week. I would make one language tweak.
Sure.
Now that I think about it, in the bullet you just read about identifying opportunities for dual enrollment, and I'm sure that Dr. Menounos could speak to this too, but that we've had some conversations with CT State in particular about concurrent enrollment, because we'd love for them to give our students credit for the work they're doing already, as well. So both dual enrollment where we have those opportunities, but concurrent, because again, one of the things that CT State is looking at is how many credits can they give our students for the trade related work that they have actually already done. So it would just, yeah, concurrent and dual enrollment programs. That would be the only tweak I would suggest to the language. But I wonder if Lance or Jeff or Karen have anything else they'd want to tweak on this, and if not, love a motion to endorse this for full approval by the board.
Looks good from what I see, and I put a motion to endorse it to the board.
Thank you, Lance.
And I'll second it. I'll
Okay.
second.
Great, thanks. All in favor? Aye. Okay, great. Any opposed or abstaining? Okay, wonderful. Then we will pass this on to the board at the next meeting. And well, I think, Ronki, will we also actually have a brief presentation again by Sadi and, okay, on
We will.
just to make sure that the full board gets the information about the AP and ECE courses and the plans for continued conversations with higher ed on dual and concurrent and early college kinds of opportunities. So great. Thank you, Ronki. The other item that we wanted to talk about just for a moment today is when we established these committees, we identified that we wanted to have an opportunity for ex officio members to join us as well, just of this committee. And so wanted to get your thoughts about the types of individuals or the types of agencies that we might want to involve if we're focused on career exploration, partnerships with secondary and post-secondary and trades and work-based learning. So I know for me, one of the people I've thought about is somebody representing CT State. So again, if we're going to have this large agreement, might be nice to ask them to sit on this committee. Dr. Karen Hynek, who serves as their interim provost, would probably be a very good choice, as she has breadth and depth of knowledge of all of their programs. But I wonder if folks have other people we should think about or pursue, from your travels, others in kind of the secondary, post-secondary, or trade areas. Again, we don't have to have all the answers today, but just wanted to be thinking about who else might join you. We could certainly reach out to Dr. Hynek and see if she would be interested. Definitely one option.
Nothing comes to mind, but let me think
Yep.
about it on my end.
Yeah, sure.
Certainly. And again, our goal is not to make redundant work for our partners, because they sit on lots of things, but just to kind of make sure we're connected up where we need to be. There's certainly, we could reach out to Connecticut State Colleges and Universities more broadly. They have a provost as well who could look across their many institutions. The independent colleges have a kind of an association. Maybe they would be somebody we could talk to. And, again, I think here our goal is to think about where we could kind of double down on some of our efforts. But yeah, if you'll think on that would be really helpful. And then again, I think we could have some exploratory conversations with CSEU and the Independent College Association to see if they might have suggestions about who might be good to do that work with. Great. The only other thing I wanted to mention is that the other thing that we will continue to try to do with this committee is think about what other topics you'd like to hear more about. I think the articulation agreements with CT State would be the next presentation and really helpful. But if there are other topics you would like us to pursue, and then also to identify ways in which you all can help. Because obviously that's part of your goal for being on the committee and on the board is to be helpful. So happy to think about those things too. Good. Okay. Well, I think that is our agenda for this morning. So happy to also take a motion to adjourn if folks are ready to do so.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you,
Second.
Lance, and a second by Jeff. All right, all in favor? Aye, great. Back to your busy days. Thank you all so much for your time, and to Nikki, thank you for your leadership on this work as well. Okay, great.
Thank you.
See you all again soon. Okay, bye-bye.